will miss Les. We thank him for all he did for us here at LSU. I felt, however, that this program needed a change. And the change was necessary to give the players the best opportunity to succeed. At the end of the day, it's all about the players and their experience and where they're going in their lives. I felt that at this time, Ed Orgeron is the right man to take over this program.
For the first time in 12 years, Les Miles will not be the head coach of the LSU Tigers. We'll have updates on the change later today.
And later we'll have an exclusive interview with former LSU Athletic Director Skip Bertman.
Stay in those seats. The Tiger TV Tailgate Show starts right now.
Welcome to the Tiger TV Tailgate Show. I'm Hunter Lovell, and alongside me, Dylan Alvarez and Taylor Potter. Guys, first time not seeing Les of that sideline and that purple and gold. But we will see Coach Ed Orgeron in action today. It should be a good one.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a good one. I think Coach O is a very fiery guy. He's going to provide a lot of excitement. Players are going to love to be out there with him, so they should be very energized.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's really going to open up the offense. Expect a lot of passing plays down the middle. It's going to be an exciting matchup, and we'll just see how it goes.
We'll get to Coach O in just a minute, but we'll give you the latest on the Devon Godchaux saga. LSU defensive lineman Devon Godchaux was indefinitely suspended from the team Monday evening after being arrested that morning on charges of domestic battery, child endangerment, and false imprisonment. However, the charges were dropped Tuesday afternoon, and Godchaux was promptly reinstated on the team. When asked if Godchaux will play today, Coach Orgeron had this to say.
He's been practicing. It seemed like things have cleared up. We still have a couple of discussions to make, and it's a day-by-day basis, but I think everything's looking pretty good.
Guys, it sounds like Devon Godchaux may get to play today. Do you think that's the right call?
Well, the legal process took its course, and no charges were filed, so I think that that LSU is perfectly within its rights to play Devon Godchaux, and honestly, there doesn't seem to be any big reason why they should not play him today.
No, and I have to agree again with Taylor. The legal process set itself out. He wasn't charged. He was released. There is no real reason not to play him. He's going to be a great addition to a defensive line that's really struggling right now.
Well, guys, it's also true that one of the big reasons Les Miles was let go is because he was looking to change the offense. Now with Coach O taking over, fans all across Louisiana are asking about what type of changes he'll make, specifically with the offense.
As long as we can have success, move the ball, and score points, we make an improvement. In order to put in a new offense and a totally new philosophy, that's not going to be done this season. That's totally impossible. So we have to go with what the terminology is, what the plays are, and tweak them in the best way that we can so the players can perform and play fast.
Coach O is saying there will be some tweaks, but it's impossible to change an entire offense right now. Guys, how do you think the offense will look today?
Yeah, well, Rome was not built in a day, and you can't change LSU's offense in a week. So what we're going to see is more of the same, but it's going to be a better version of the same. I think we're going to go back to LSU's roots, that we're going to pound the ball, we're going to see some gritty LSU offense, but we're also going to see Danny Etling and the offense spread things out a little bit. We're going to throw to the tight ends. We're going to take advantage of Malachi Dupree on a safety. I think that we're going to see a much more energized offense than what we've seen in the last few games.
I really think we're going to take some risks, Hunter. I think that he's going to really open up that offense. He's going to throw it down the middle. Yeah, it's a bit more risky when it comes to interceptions, but I really feel like he's willing to take that risk. Players are going to love it. They're ready to take on this new offense. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Well, since we're talking about offensive players, we'll get right to the best ones on LSU's team. Fournette has been dealing with an ankle injury for the entire season thus far, and he retweaked that injury last weekend against Auburn, where we saw him limping off the field several times. Any chances you think Leonard Fournette will play tonight?
I think it's very doubtful that we see Leonard tonight, and in case we don't, we do have a great running back in Darius Guice. Darius Guice has played in Fournette's relief all season long. Against Jacksonville State, he put up 155 yards. So as far as backup running backs go, we're going to be fine. I would be very surprised if we see Fournette, and I think that we're going to see a much more increased role for Guice this season.
I mean, let's be honest, guys. Guice is averaging over 8 yards a carry this season. Why not play somebody like that? Don't risk injuring Leonard Fournette again. I feel like Leonard Fournette that isn't at 100% is not as good as 100% Guice. I think we really run him, but again, I think this offense is going to rely more on the pass than to run this game. So even if Leonard Fournette was healthy, I don't see him having as big of an impact as he usually would have. Well, Les Miles may be gone, but he leaves behind an incredible legacy. Nobody may have been as passionate about LSU football than Les. Here, we salute the Mad Hatter, Les Miles.
Dear Les, thank you. You made the past 12 seasons of being a Tigers fan anxious.
A go-ahead field goal to scoring a go-ahead touchdown for LSU.
Frustrating.
Do it! You don't have time to ground the ball. You gotta play. Game over.
And so rewarding.
Alamo. Snap, place, kick in the air. LSU win.
Whether it was your rants,
I'm the head coach at LSU. I will be the head coach at LSU. I have no interest in talking to anybody else. I got a championship game to play, and I'm excited about the opportunity of my damn strong football team to play in it. There'll be no questions from me. I represent me in this issue. Please ask me after. I'm busy. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
humor,
What is it like to be interviewed by a sweet young thing like Erin Andrews?
Ted, I am so with you. Hey, Michael Bonnet, did you give him that question?
you'll be remembered as the grass-eating Mad Hatter who led the Tigers to 114 wins and a national title. As the coach who is more than a coach to his players. As Les Miles.
Guys, there really was never a dull moment with Les Miles. What do you think he's going to be remembered for 5, 10, even 50 years from now?
I think when you think about Les Miles, you think about that passion and the class that he brought to the program. Les Miles, was never the most eloquent guy, never broke outside the box in terms of play calling, but every press conference was something to remember. And I think when you look at the things that he said when he was leaving LSU, he really showed a lot of class and a lot of love for this school that he did not attend. So I think when we're looking at new coaches, that's something we're going to look for. We're going to look for a guy who's going to bring that same class and that same passion. And I think that that's something that's really going to stick with us for the next several years.
Going off of what you said, Les is a unique guy, and we're going to miss him. All of his weird habits of eating grass in the field and just having to interpret whatever he said in press conferences. Les was just a genuine guy, really cared about LSU football, and despite what people say about him winning the national championship with Nick Saban's players, he is he has the most winning percentage in LSU history, and I feel like we're gonna miss that, especially 5 years from now.
He really was just a fantastic ambassador.
Coming after the break, we have an exclusive interview with our former athletic director, Skip Burtman. Amanda Luskin has more.
And we'll see what Mizzou brings to the table in this game.
Stay right where you are. The Tiger TV Tailgate Show will be right back.
Welcome back to the Tiger TV Tailgate Show. Skip Burtman is often thought of as one of the most influential people in LSU history. Now we'll let you hear from the man who hired Les Miles. What's his final take on the Mad Hatter's legacy at LSU? Check it out.
It's never a good day when someone loses their job, but sadly that happened to Les Miles yesterday. So you're the man that hired him. So take me back to 12 years ago when he first came to this program, what it was like.
Well, as I was out on a coaching search, we were late, meaning that Nick Saban wanted to wait to tell his team in Orlando, Florida, playing in the bowl there, and we took off on an airplane to search like, my counterpart Joe will do, and we spoke to, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 people, made dozens and dozens of phone calls, and Les had something besides being very personable. He had small children. I thought that was very important because everybody loves Baton Rouge. But I've never met anybody as an AD when they come down here who didn't love it, And in order to get away from that 3 and out, like Michigan, Tennessee, Florida, and many other schools, and LSU before that, I wanted somebody that would stay a while, and I knew if they had children, they had a much better chance. But Les had been very successful, and as you can see now, the Oklahoma State program is a top program.
So you mentioned him having to fill Nick Saban's shoes, and you said that never bothered him. How do you think he dealt, though, with not being able to beat him? Because since 2012, the national championship, that hasn't happened.
What we have here is that led to Joe Oliva and the 16 board members, which have every right in the world, to do this. Okay? And I certainly am not second-guessing that decision. I think it was their decision, and I think it was done at the right time, and I think they're doing it the right way. But what we have to think back, though, is this is the toughest conference.
Without students, there would be no LSU. We know how much of an impact the students have on the LSU body. And the student section is the heartbeat of LSU football, for God's sake. And here's what they have to say about Coach O and Les Miles.
I think he's going to influence the play calling very well. I think he's going to let Etling air it out a little bit more.
He's probably one of the best defensive coordinators in the nation, so I expect our defense to be really strong, and I think that wins games.
Even though we have the best running back, I'd like to see us throw the ball a little more.
To just kind of add a little more diversity into our offense, so maybe a little more passing or just rotation of the players, just to really utilize the talent that we often had sitting on the sideline.
Well, hopefully we could move the ball a little bit better down the field with Leonard Fournette getting more handoffs. And hopefully we can incorporate the spread offense, and that way we can actually get some yards.
Are you going to miss Les Miles?
I will. I was a big fan. I know some people weren't. I think it was time for a change, but I liked him a lot.
Not at all. I'm sorry. I think he's a nice person. I think he's a great coach, but I feel like it's been 10 years. We only have like one championship, and if you ask me, we should credit that one to Nick Saban, because that was basically his team at the time.
But he was a great coach. Through. Whether you love him or you hate him, you have to respect him.
I am, yeah. He was a good coach. From what I've heard about him, he was a really good guy off the field, too. He recruited very well for the Tigers over his 12 years here. I think we're going to miss that a lot.
There's been a lot of talk about what the stadium is going to look like today. Will it be full, or will there be some excitement with the new coach?
Well, I think that the student section, without a doubt, is going to be full. I think that students are going to fill up, and I think that they're really going to want to see this new coach. I do have a little bit of worry about whether or not general admission fans are going to come, just because this season has not been everything we expected so far. Fans are still feeling a little down about the Auburn loss, but I definitely think that the student section will be full. Whether or not they'll stay the full 4 quarters is another question entirely.
I mean, it depends on the score, but I think student section everywhere. We're going to be packed. You're going to be hearing those Tiger fans roaring. It's a new change, and with change comes excitement. I expect every Tiger fan to be filling up that stadium right now, cheering on their new Tigers, whether or not we're winning or losing, because that's honestly what Tiger fans are prided on. We love our Tigers.
Well, you heard it here. We're going to take a break right now, but coming up, we're going to have score and game predictions. So stay where you are. Tiger TV Tailgate Show will be right back. Well, with everything that happened this week, believe it or not, there is a game to be played in Tiger Stadium. LSU taking on the unranked Tigers of Missouri. This will be the first appearance for Missouri in Death Valley. They're coming in off the most dominant win in school history. They beat Delaware State last Saturday 79-0. Both Tigers have only met once before. Missouri beat LSU 20-15 in the 1978 Liberty Bowl. Missouri's coming into this game 2-2. How do you think they'll match up today against the Bayou Bengals?
Well, the secondary is definitely going to be tested for LSU. Drew Lock, one of the biggest surprises in the SEC so far. Missouri's sophomore quarterback. He's leading the SEC right now with 377 passing yards a game. So Trey White and the rest of the LSU secondary is definitely going to be tested against him.
Yeah, and I think the LSU defense's test in this game is very obvious, coming into this game with this prolific up-tempo passing game. But I think it's also going to be a big test for LSU's offense. You have a new offensive coordinator in Zen Inswinger, who is coming off in 1978 the quarterback for LSU when they lost in the Liberty Bowl to Missouri. So he definitely has a monkey on his back. So I think that he's definitely going to be looking to take care of that. The Missouri defense is one of the best in terms of getting interceptions.
7-7.
So
leading the SEC.
It's definitely going to be a test for Danny Etling to make the right call, make the right throws, and a lot of that is going to come from the running game too. Once we get that running game established, which we should be able to against this Missouri defense, then it's going to be up to Danny Etling to make the right throws.
And, Drew Lock, he has 14 touchdown passes this year, leading the SEC. It's a big shock. People would have thought Chad Kelly would be leading the SEC right now, but it's Drew Lock, the sophomore quarterback. And he's, his favorite target is Jamon Moore. The wide receiver has over 100 yards receiving in 3 games already, and 3 out of 4 games. That's very impressive. Missouri's offense is very up-tempo, and so I'm curious to see how Dave Aranda's defense is going to step it up. Our secondary with Trey White, Dante Jackson, Jamal Adams, they're all going to be put to the test today. Missouri's going to go for it. They're going to go for it often. So it's going to be a test.
Now, I really am just curious to see how the LSU Tigers bounce back. A tough loss against Auburn. How do they respond to all this pressure? How do they respond to the coaching change against an SEC opponent? It's going to be no easy task beating Missouri. So we're going to have to see how this play ends up.
Well, and you would think that with the defense, not much has changed for them. They do have a new defensive line coach in Pete Jenkins, but for the most part, the defense's job stays the same. I think the test is going to be when that offense comes in, trying to mix things up and trying to do everything differently so they can win this game.
Well, stick around for our last segment. We'll have predictions and keys to the game coming up after the break. Welcome back to Tiger TV Tailgate Show. All right, guys, kickoff is approaching. Give me your score predictions and keys to the game.
So I think that with Missouri's offense dropping back and passing as many times as they will, I think that Arden Key is going to have a big game. I think we're going to see at least 2 sacks from Arden Key. I think that the defense is going to get the job done and is going to minimize the effect of this up-tempo Missouri offense. And I think that Enswinger's new offense and Coach O's energy is really going to help this offense. I think that we're going to see not a dominant win, but a solid win from the Tigers. I'm predicting 31-21 LSU.
And you talked about the offense. I think the key in this game is to rely on that at least 30 passes, really open up the offense for him, throw it down the middle, along the sides. I think him having a big game passing is crucial for LSU to win this game. I also think you rely on Geis. He's going to have a great game himself. And again, Arden Key, the defensive line for LSU, I think they're going to have a great day against the Missouri offensive line. I'm looking at a big win for LSU, 28-10.
You know, with Steven Spiegel now as offensive coordinator, I expect to see LSU spread the ball around to the tight ends. I think Colin Jeter, Deshaun Smith, maybe even Foster Morrow are going to see significant targets today, and that's going to really help and benefit the Tigers. I think Darius Geis, depending on if Fournette doesn't play, but Geis will have a huge game, just like he did against Jacksonville State. I think he'll expose Missouri's defense in that way, and I expect to see Etling throw to the running backs more. I think we'll see some swing passes to Geis, maybe even to Darrell Williams if he gets in, and like you said, Arden Key. I think Missouri's only allowed 1 sack this season. I think they'll give up 2 today. Arden Key will just, he's averaging over a sack per game thus far, leading the SEC almost in the nation, I believe. I think he'll have a wonderful game today. Well, that's it for us today. For more coverage, you can follow along on LSUnow.com. The Tigers are going to be in Gainesville next week, taking on Florida. We will be back on the Tiger TV Game Day show against Southern Miss in 2 weeks. Taylor Potter, and Dylan Alvarez. I'm Hunter Lovell. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the game.